Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song by Blake Shelton called Boys Around Here. And it's going to start on an A major chord. And the way you play A major, first finger is going to go to the D string on the second fret. Second finger is going to go to the G string on the second fret. And the third finger is going to go to the B string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like A major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the A major, we're going to be going to a D major chord. And the way you play D major, first finger is going to go to the G string on the second fret. Second finger is going to go to the high E on the second fret. Third finger is going to go to the B string on the third fret. And if you strum just the D, G, B, and E, kind of the top four strings, that'll get you your clearest sound out of that. It's called D major. And basically our entire song is just kind of revolving between those two chords. We're going A major, D major, A major, D major. But a lot of times, to make a song like this more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 is down, down, up, up, down, up, which you could kind of get to work with this song. So if we took the A and just kind of did down, down, up, down, up, 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 just to get used to that. And we tried that through our progression. We got A, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, up, A, down, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, up. Now, to make it even more interesting, something we could do is, instead on the first down stroke, instead of doing the whole strum across the entire chord, we could actually add some things called bass notes. And what I mean by that is, like for the A, we could do a bass on the A string and then do your down, up, down, up. And then on the D, you could do that same thing, but now on the D chord, you got a D string for the bass on the D chord. So you got A with an A bass, down, up, down, D with a D bass, down, up, down, A with an A bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, A with an A bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down. So that would be another option to kind of work through the tune. What I really feels like the strum pattern though is, instead of working off an 8th note strum pattern, I think it's kind of working off a 16th note. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, if you divide it into two parts, 1, 2, 1, 2, that's called an 8th note. And that's kind of what the down, down, up, is working off of. What a 16th note is if you divided that foot and tapped into 4 parts. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns that I think really kind of matches the tune is long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is, like, we took the A and did it down and counted for 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you should be doing on the first beat. On the second beat, we're doing it down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the third beat, we're doing an up on 2, down on 3. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down. On the last beat, you're kind of going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got down, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So all together, you got long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up, long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. So we tried that through our progression. We'd have the A, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, D, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, A, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, D, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, A, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, D, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And something else you can do with that is kind of adding some basses to that strum pattern. So another one of my favorite 16th patterns is a bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is, like, if you took the A and kind of did the A strings for the bass, 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 and then did the down, down, up, and then did another bass on the A string, and then the down, down. So I'm going to take in a couple of the downs and kind of replacing those with bass notes. So now I'm going bass, bass, down, down, up, A bass, down, up, down, A bass, down, down, up, A bass, down, up, down, up. And then you want to try like through the song. Now in the second verse, there's some really cool hits where it's almost like a big down down, and if you want to make it just kind of really, really powerful, you could use some things called power chords instead of the reposition chords that we're using right now. So instead of doing the A major, you could do something called A5, and what A5 is something called a power chord, and you're basically taking an A note and then counting up 5 notes, A, B, C, D, E, and adding an E note to it. So what you want to do for A5 is put the first finger on the low E on the 5th fret, and if you take the third finger and go to the A string on the 7th fret and kind of strum just those 2 strings, that's called an A5 power chord. And on that breakdown in the verse, it almost feels like you're doing 2 downs on A and kind of killing the strings. So you're going A, and then you're kind of going to a D5 instead of a regular D. And all you really have to do is take that shape and just kind of shift it by 1 string. So now first finger's on the A 5th fret, third finger's on the D string on the 7th fret, and you're strumming just the A string and the D string to get a D5 power chord. So that could be kind of a cool way to break it up, is doing the verse with the A5, D5, down, down, kill it, A5, down, down, kill it, D5, down, down, kill it. So that might be something else you want to try and add. And for myself, there are actually a lot of other places you can play those chords, the A and the D. And at the very, very beginning on the intro part, it almost feels like you're doing part of a bar chord. And this is kind of cool. You could take first finger and go low E on the 5th fret, second finger on the G string on the 6th fret, third finger on the A string on the 7th fret, and the pinky on the D string on the 7th fret. And if you strum all those with just the open E and B, so we're not actually doing a bar all the way across, leaving it open. This is something I call a drone voicing for A major. And then if you took that shape and kind of slid it up all the way up to 10th fret on the low E, and then 2nd fret on the G string 11, third finger on the A on the 12, pinky on the D string on the 12. If you strummed all those together, that would kind of be like another way to kind of play D. So we were kind of just letting the E and the B just kind of ring through those. So if you tried that with your down, down, up, down, up, you have A, down, up, down, up, D, down, down, up, down, up, A, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, up. And then that way you can kind of get that slide idea that Blake's kind of using at the very beginning into the song. You could even use those voicings through the chord. You could do the bass down, up, down, where we have the low, and now all our basses actually are going to be on the low E string, because that's where the A note and the D note are for those chord voicings. So you'd have low E bass, down, up, down, D with the low E bass, down, down, A with the low E bass, down, down, D with the low E bass, down, down, A with the low E bass, down, down, D with the low E bass, down, down, or you could even do the 16th note pattern where we're doing that down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, D, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, A, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, D, down, 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 up, down, down, or you could do the bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, where you have the A with the bass, bass, down, down, up, low E bass, down, down, D, low E bass, bass, down, up, bass, down, A, bass, bass, down, up, low E bass, down, D, low E bass, down, up, low E bass, down. Then there are also some other places where we could actually use kind of some more open strings. So one other way that you could kind of take A major and play it in different places is you could kind of play it with that second party on the 2nd fret, where we got the D, G, and E on the 2nd fret. But we could actually play those same notes. We're actually playing A's and C sharps and E's when we do that voicing. And another place to play those on those same strings is to go to B string on the 5th fret with first finger, second finger on the G on the 6th fret, third finger on the D string on the 7th fret, and you can still strum all the strings with that, and that still sounds an A major chord. And another place you could play A majors, if you took that shape and split it up to 9th fret, so now on 9, 10, and 11, and kind of switch the first finger to the G string, second finger to the B string, and now I've got 9th fret on the G, 10th fret on the B, and then 11th fret on the D. That's another way to play A major. So you may want to consider, while you're on the A major, you could actually switch between those voicings, that 5, 6, 7, and then the 9, 10, 11, for your A chord. And for your D, there's some similar voicings really close to that. Like on the D, we're playing D's and F sharps and A's. And so another place that you could play a D major chord on those same strings would be going high E on the 5th fret, with the first finger, third finger on the G string 7, and then pinky on the B string 7, and you could still kind of strum just the D string to the high E and still have a D major chord. So that may be something else you want to kind of add for your D chords rather than playing the regular D major, the 2-2-3 one. You could go to the 7-7-5 one. And then another D major you could do is you could kind of go 10th fret on the high E and 10th fret on the B string and kind of get the second finger to go to the G string 11 and kind of play those same notes, that D, F sharp, and A in a different place. So you could even revolve between those chords, between it, just as an example. Like if you took the down, down, up, down, up, you'd have A, down, down, D, down, down, up, down. And then you could jump to the 5-6-7 A, down, up, down, and the 7-7-5 D. And then you could jump up to the 9-10-11 A. And then you could go to the 10-10-11 D. Too, if you're doing the bass, down, up, down, do the D bass, down, up, down, next A, next D, next A, next D. So that might be something else you want to add in, and you could even get your bass, down, 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 up, bass, down, order with that too. So the 5-6-7-8, the 7-7-5 D. Or you could even throw that in with your drum voices if you wanted to. So even though it's a 2-chord song, there are actually a lot of places you could play those chords. So that's the basics of how you could play Boys Around Here by Blake Shelton. So good luck!